My name's Dave DeBoe, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content.
All right, guys, welcome to Property Profits Podcast. I'm your host, Bryce Kaminsky, filling in for Dave Dubois. And have you ever wondered how a healthcare professional turned real estate investor is reshaping the market for long-term wealth? Well, today, my guest, Hugi Contreras, that's my best shot at it, a real estate expert who left their job to pursue this new passion. Hugi, welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited.
Yeah, so I've had a few healthcare professionals on the show, doctors, nurses, some of the auxiliary trades, and there is a correlation between that burnt out feeling and, because sometimes people are feeling that they need to put in the extra hours and it's obligated, and they're like, you got to come in for the 14-hour shift tomorrow, and it really does add up to the burnout. And what I've heard time and time again is that it's like you're obligated because that's the only thing that you're making money on. And so let's start there. Can you share your journey from being a healthcare professional to becoming a real estate investor and starting to invest in property?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, I went straight to college right after high school. I did a 7-year program. I got my doctorates in physical therapy. And I was very disciplined and determined from the very get-go. I had a plan. I wanted to get out of student loans. I didn't want to have any debt. And so I worked my butt off. Like I was working at one point 3 to 4 jobs, 6 days a week. I managed to clear my loans within probably 2 to 3 years. And I also saved in the meantime also for a home. I really wanted to buy my first home. I had already been reading about real estate and how a lot of people became self-made millionaires. And I felt like that was going to be my entry point. So I made it a point to buy my first home. And I did that. I graduated from college back in 2010. I was 25 years old. And I bought my first property at the end of 2012. And basically, I just started learning more, and I had already saved up enough money to keep investing. So I explored other areas. I even got into the restaurant business, but real estate has always been my passion. So that's basically in a nutshell. Over time, I've gotten into, I started with single family, then I went into condos, and then multifamily, and more recently has been commercial real estate.
Okay. So what inspired you ultimately to leave your job and really move into the real estate full time?
So, I mean, the inspiration came from being raised in a single parent. Like I know what it was like, and I kind of really saw what it would be like for me, even as a professional, even making over 100,000. Like back then, I felt like it was not going to be enough. And so I just started to explore. I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And even when I got into real estate, like I knew very basic information, but I didn't really know how to even analyze a deal. Like I just made simple math. I'm like, well, if I can make $700 per house, then I'll just buy, every year I'll try to buy one until I'm able to leave my job. That was basically how I started. And then I started to know the responsibilities of being a landlord. And then I also got into, like, I was obsessed. I became super obsessed. I was watching Zillow, Realtor.com. I was on the market all the time. And I kind of felt like I wasn't getting the responses from realtors quick enough. So I ended up becoming a realtor myself. Like I got licensed, and so yeah, it's just been like a continuing growing experience for me.
Nice. So over your career, you've used, different strategies, buy and hold, BRRRR method, wholesale and Airbnb, fix and flip. So you've kind of done this, that, and the other thing. Um, What kind of led you along that path that you were doing this, that, and the other?
Well, I'm curious by nature, very curious, and I don't like to stand still. I like to keep learning. I feel like life is so short, and I want to really maximize my time here. And so when I started to learn about, the profits I was making through real estate, and reading and surrounding myself, I was networking a lot. And I mean, I was inspired with some of the people I've met along the way. And, they introduced me to other methods. And, I learned that short term rental, at that time, I was just buying and holding. And so
Hmm.
I was building my portfolio and, I was getting all the appreciation, depreciation, like I was getting all the benefits from it. But I knew that I could make more through other methods. So I met a couple of friends that were doing Airbnb at the time, and they were doing very, very well. And
Hmm.
so I explored that for a little bit. And then there was a point where, I ran out of my capital. I had, done what I only knew what to do. And so I learned about wholesaling. And I realized that that's a quick way to make money real quick. And so once I got enough capital, then I learned how to become a funding partner. So I funded a deal for someone, and we did a joint venture. And so then I started doing my own fix and flips. And so it's just been like a roller coaster of different, explorations for me, trying to see what I like, and I like them all. So yeah, I kind of like to be diverse.
Hmm. So which one would you say was your favorite and which one was your least favorite?
So my favorite, I would say, would be a mixture of short-term rental, uh, but I also do enjoy fix and flipping. I think I love the complexity of it, and the more distressed a property, the more I enjoy it. Like I like to see it from very distressed to like the final look.
Hmm.
And I like to go through the whole permitting. I feel like it gives me a challenge, and I do learn very quickly about just different laws and things that happen. So I do like short-term rental also. I haven't gotten into more like the corporate housing, which is
Hmm.
something I'm kind of looking into. It's just been mostly through VRBO and Airbnb platform or
Hmm.
Booking.com. So I enjoy the hospitality. They definitely do bring greater returns. But I like having a variety. Like I think a lot of it comes with working at the hospital. You don't know what your day is going to look like, and so I like
Hmm.
that, rush of newness. So
So what advice would you have for other healthcare professionals who are looking to start investing in real estate?
So one thing, I think a lot of people are not educated in how to start investing.
Mm.
People have a misconception, especially now with these interest rates being so high. But there's so many ways of getting creative and funding deals, whether you do it on your own, you can joint venture, or at the very least, you can start with wholesaling. Wholesaling is
Hmm.
so simple, like anybody can do this. You can be a fresh graduate and not have your realtor's license. Like you can do it from scratch. And really, it's just learning that you're just selling, the rights to a property, basically. So you're just the middleman. You find your buyer and your seller, and then you make the transaction happen. And we all know someone that may be selling, and you can see it in your neighborhood. You can learn about what's going on in your neighborhood. There's just so many opportunities, and I think that would be like the easiest route where you don't really have to finagle with dealing with tenants, or how much it would cost for a rehab, just the technicalities that go into
Hmm.
uh, rehabbing and the more other strategies of real estate.
Yeah, I mean the thing I like about wholesaling too is it's like there's no shortage of people who want to buy them off of you and go and do the fix and flip. And if you don't really want to like get into that and what tile color and what color is this, you can just
Right.
sell it to someone like yourself who likes that sort of stuff. And they can go
Exactly.
and deal with their contractor and they can go to Home Depot and pick the flooring and all that.
Right.
All I care is the bricks and sticks and like what can you buy it for? What is it maybe worth when you're
Right.
done with it? I mean, it really depends. what people do with it. So yeah, it's a quick way to get started. And I think learning to buy is really important because once you get a handle on buying, then you can actually get a handle
Mhm.
on buying for yourself. If you're just buying
100%.
whatever, you're going to end up with some rough deals. So, along
Mhm.
the way, if you had any challenges, maybe scaling or maybe your first attempt at Airbnb, what sort of challenges have you had to overcome in your investment so far?
Well, definitely, you do it once and then you kind of just keep doing what you know. But for me, the challenge was always capital. Like,
Hmm.
I worked my butt off for a couple months or years, whatever, to build enough to get the down payment for conventional.
Hmm.
And, I realized shortly after doing it a couple times that I can just do a hard money lend. They don't have to pull my credit. They will finance the deal right away. And I mean, I've even had rehab loans. Like I've come out of pocket with $0. Like I never understood that. I would hear it all the time. And the only method I knew is like to raise the 25% on my own and fund. And then, like I said, the more I networked, the more I read, the more, educated I became, I realized like you don't really need capital. Like there is someone in your circle that has 30, $40,000 and you can structure, a deal where you can be the managing person of the project and,
Hmm.
and then you get profits after you resell. So a lot of it was mindset with the capital stuff because I felt like it wasn't worth paying those high interest for these hard money lenders.
Yeah.
But then, I learned to capitalize on it. And if the numbers were working, why not? You know?
Yeah, as long as you work it into the deal, hard money
Mhm.
loans probably the easiest loan you can get in your life because they're
Right,
interested in the house and not so much interested in you. So,
right.
what would you say your secrets, the secret sauce is, what's your unfair advantage in the sense that, what comes easy to you that other people might find difficult to do?
For me, I think like I said, I'm able to manage stress very well. And like, I'm not very reactive to situations. I mean, I've had very crappy situations and, it's just kind of like stepping back and learning how to problem solve. I think a lot of times we go in with the wrong mindset, and it's real estate. The economy can, come in. There's a lot of factors to, inflation. Like even now, if you're a builder, the cost of goods are super expensive now. Lumber, steel, things are in back order. So it's like learning. You won't have all the answers ever. Even now that I'm experienced, I don't have all the answers, but having that willingness to learn and either get a mentor or just surround yourself with people that have done it and will be able to get you through whatever circumstances you may face.
Hmm. Figuring it out and just handling it. Awesome, awesome. So,
Mhm.
when you're looking at the future for your businesses in real estate, what's on the horizon?
So actually, right now, I'm in the process of launching a coaching program. I feel like there's so many people out there that are clueless of where to start, how to start, and there's so many gurus out there, like which strategy works, and you can
Hmm.
get lost in that whole bubble of like, okay, well, this person says to do multifamily, this person says to do short term, and like, where do you start? Also, there's people that don't have capital, or maybe have low credit, and they think that the dream of getting into real estate is shot, and in reality, you still have options. And so I really want to give back. I think right now I was able, like I said, to retire from my profession, and it's been very humble, I guess, to have friends reach out to me and they really want to get into this real estate stuff and have that quality of life for them. And so I'm ready to give back and, teach
Nice.
people and kind of guide them, give them a system step by step of, what they need to look at and, give them that influence they need.
So when it comes to the whole teaching side of things, what do you think is maybe one of the most misunderstood things about the education space, especially when it comes to real estate?
I think the biggest misconception right now is that people don't find value in the paying for interest rates. So they also see that with the prices of homes, and especially during COVID, I know there was a big concern for short-term rentals.
Hmm.
So a lot of people just don't know, or they're not educated enough to maneuver through these obstacles that happen in real estate. And so it's just having the tools, the resources to kind of handle them. But yeah, it's a combination of mindset and finances.
So what would be, like people get started in real estate all the time and maybe they fall off or maybe they give up. What's like one piece of like mindset advice you can give someone to help them maybe stay the course?
Well, if first of all, you have to believe in yourself. And I think the biggest thing with real estate and the mindset, you have to be ready to take any situation or any challenge head on. Like you can't crumble and like you can't fall apart. You have to become your own resource. So there is someone out there that has been in your situation.
Hmm.
And it's just like I said, having either a mentor that follow their footsteps that will guide you through these challenges, because definitely there are some.
Hmm. Yeah. You never know where they're going to come from too. So, um, if people want to connect with you, they want to find out more about your journey and your training, what should they do? How do they find you?
Well, I'm on Instagram right now and Facebook. My handle on Instagram is at HugiC. It's HUGIC. And also on Facebook, you can find me through HugiC. It's HUGICEE.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I really appreciate you stopping by and shedding a little bit of light on the whole healthcare and the real estate and how they work together.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem. Until next time, guys, we'll catch you on the next episode.
Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.